We're here today to check out some more cricket.
But should we just call it like Cricket Tuesday or something like that?
Cricket Tuesday.
Cricket Tuesday.
Cricket Tuesday.
It was repeating itself. Anyone just see that?
It's so true, though.
Okay, well, first of all,
true.
Mitch Johnson, Brett Lee, MS Dhoni. With all that boring stuff out of the way, this is a very important, momentous occasion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another Cricket Tuesday. I jumped the gun on that one. Welcome to Boring Reviews. Nick here.
Gabe. And we
have our cricket hats on today.
West Indies. Let's go, Wendy's. I know you got your India hat over there. Can't wait to catch a test match for India. But thus far, we've immersed ourselves in test cricket. You know, we've watched a whole bunch of England versus the West Indies. And let's be honest. I know you've been rooting for England, Nick, but still, they are so fun to watch. I'm talking about the West Indies. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people were asking me, why'd you go for the West Indies, you know, in the chat or whatnot. I was born in Puerto Rico. My mom is from Dominican Republic. My dad is Puerto Rican. So I'm from the Caribbean, you know what I mean? And the West Indies are a whole bunch of players from the Caribbean. So I felt some kinship to them, you know. But with that being said, man, tell the people what we're going to be reviewing today.
All right. So for Cricket Tuesday today, and before we get into this, if you don't know, we have another YouTube channel called Cricket for Americans. We've been doing live streams on these test cricket matches. Come check out that channel if you have not known about it and see what we got going on over there. We are finally looking at the man, Shane Warne. This guy we've heard about so many times, and we are checking out a video on the Robolinda 2 YouTube channel. This one is titled Shane Warne, the all-time brilliant setup for the Flipper, 1994 Gold. So when I saw that title, I thought, well, maybe this is just like a clip that we're not fully going to understand. But in the description, it says the king of spin at his best. So even if it is during a certain match that we're not going to fully understand, we're going to be able to see the best this guy. Shane Warne is an Australian cricketer. He's also a commentator right now, but he's a former international cricketer who captained the Australian national team in one-day internationals, one-day ODIs. And he is, it says right here, widely regarded as one of the greatest bowlers in the history of the game. This guy, just a few stats. He was 145 test match. He scored himself 3,000 runs, which is pretty awesome as a batsman. He got himself 700 test wickets. 700 test wickets. Unbelievable. Almost 300 in ODIs. But in 145 tests, yes, 700 test wickets. This guy is a beast. I want to say we've seen some of his clips early on Cricket Tuesday before we even knew who he was. So I'm excited to get into this one.
Absolutely. And I mean, having become a little bit more versed and knowledgeable of the sport, we understand how important spinners are, especially when, you know, the pitch is flat and, you know, the pace bowlers aren't getting a lot of bounce, and you got to have them. Every team needs those important spin bowlers. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to watch him right now. And let's just get right into this video, brother.
Let's do it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And 3, 2, 1.
Just 11 overs have been bowled. They're scoring at 4.18. That's a good strike rate.
Yeah, it is.
No wicket for 46 at the moment.
462.
And Warne to continue. Stewart on
10
strike.
wickets in hand.
Bowled. Attacking that leg stump, and so far they've managed to get away through the onside.
So they said 462 and 10. This has got to be like a test match, right?
Feeling that Shane Warne is starting to enjoy this contest because Stewart has
or maybe it was just
That's
ODI and they got
huge-
462.
Yeah, that's a huge score.
Yeah. It's, you know, Wikipedia said he was the, but I mean, he did play a bunch of test matches, so this could be a test match.
And he's prepared to play the sweep shot. Well fielded. Mark Ward diving a long way to his left there. That was hit all the way along the ground. Good shot.
Oh, look at the way he uses that. That reminded me of the guy in Lagan, the way he really moves that hand around.
He really is a magnificent fieldsman. Mark
Bro,
Ward.
it spinners, at least the way he's throwing it, is almost like throwing a curveball, bro.
Yeah, but it just...
That's nasty.
interesting way to deliver it,
some of the
though.
Australian players last night, and they said when
I mean, maybe that's how Roston delivers it too. But I've never seen that dramatic, like you're almost throwing it out of the back of your hand when you're spinning it forward.
How could that hit the stumps?
Here's Mark Waugh. He's another famous cricketer. Oof.
That's well played too.
Got a hit though.
Short, and he waited for it. And having gone down the pitch once or twice, that's the sort of ball that he could then lean back on and cut. So far, Stewart's strategy has been very effective.
Yeah, it says nothing for 50, so you know, 50 right there would tell you ODI.
Yes, that's what will happen if you can frustrate the leg spinner into to trying to get wickets quickly rather than work on the long haul. If you can keep getting the singles, rotating the strikes, you'll frustrate him and maybe get a few more loose deliveries like that. That's a very good strike rate.
50 runs off 72 balls.
Yeah, half century. Look at those graphics, huh? Wide world of sports.
Got him.
Oh,
Got him.
he looks pretty fooled on that.
Wow.
Stewart, who's been looking to go down the pitch, looking to cut, hook, line, and sinker.
Eesh.
Well, he certainly was enjoying the battle.
Looks like it's hot that day. No one's wearing the sweaters.
Right on line.
Oh.
And that has really hurried on. Alex Stewart can't believe that he's made such a blunder. And
See, that's a
Shane
ball
Warne
you should have
has
just
won that
defended
little
on.
round. It's 1 for 50.
Yeah, 100%. It's funny how their
Taking his time.
suntan lotion looks like it's just around their lips.
A nasty little 6 minutes or so before the lunch break. That's his average, 34.56. And he's
Yeah, so this is a test match, 30 tests.
One of the openers,
Highest score, 178.
brilliantly bowled by
Pretty high.
Warne, with a flipper that totally deceived.
Flipper. That's there. That's
one of the
and that was in the
reasons
video
why
title, but that makes a
Oh.
lot of sense right there. The flipper.
Because the challenge was put to him by Alex Stewart, and rather than the challenge bothering Shane Warne, it just makes him lift to another notch.
That's disgusting.
And he's won the battle and won it convincingly with a magnificent flipper. Sent the batsman off shaking.
To be able to
his
have
head and,
control with the spin
not
like
only
that
got him out
is
in this
super
innings, but it's
dangerous.
done a bit of mental damage for the next test match as well.
Yeah, there you go, test match. Ooh, LBW?
Ooh, and 4 runs and a wicket
No.
over.
And it's on the the leg side.
Yeah.
For 50. Yes, Alex Stewart back in the pavilion. Warne has struck already. He'll be hoping to get another over in. Just 4 minutes to go before the lunch break. McGrath to continue.
That looked kind of wide, right?
Yes, the body language displayed by Stewart when he was given out really.
Yeah, but I
sums
think
up the
Warren's
state of
not
English
bowling
batting
right
at the
now.
moment.
I think he's in the
Just
field.
watch this. Okay, so he was bowled by Flipper. Now watch him here. This is a distraught man.
Distraught.
He's very, very down.
It totally
Away
is.
he goes.
Really does relish a challenge, Shane Warne. That was the perfect flipper. It really rushed on to the batsman, and also just to add to the problems for Alex Stewart, it just came back a little bit off the pitch, but didn't make much difference because the pace was the pace that did him. It was right through him.
So I feel like people may possibly be thinking as they're watching this Cricket Tuesday video,
Right.
We try to do the best that we can to make really good videos. They're probably going to say like that's the best video you can find on Shane Warne, and I get it. I truly do. We are limited with some of the videos that we have, but if you have a better video, we are more than welcome to take suggestions. Not saying that's a bad video whatsoever. I really appreciate Robolinda too for what he does and the videos he makes. We chose to do it because Shane Warne. But as always, if you think there's a better video out there that's not from one of the big guys, then please let us know. Send us the link, and we'd be more than happy to take a look at it. But what do you think about that video?
Well, man, just watching it, it gave me a real good idea of exactly what a flipper is, and watching his grip. You know what I mean? And like I mentioned, it's almost like a curveball where, especially we exaggerate, but we teach kids you want to keep that wrist bent, and we're teaching kids when they're playing baseball. All right, bend that wrist. Here's a baseball back here. So you're staying on the seams, bend that wrist, and you're coming here. But it's reversed, because instead of coming here, and we always say let it go in front of your eye, right? When you're throwing a curveball, he has the same grip, but if you saw it was like this way. So he released it this way. I could only imagine the strain that puts on your elbow and shoulder as well. But man, the way the ball reacts is absolutely disgusting. And if you can put that bowl together along with a different spinner, I mean, it's almost unstoppable, bro. It's almost unstoppable. You can see why Shane Warne had, what'd you say, 726 wickets or something insane like that?
706 or something like that. Yeah, over 700. Incredible.
That's insane. But yeah, obviously the guy had talent, and it's always cool to watch these guys, even though, again, this is back in 94, so obviously you don't got the high def or whatnot, but it's cool to watch these guys work. And for young cricketers out there, especially in cricket, we've seen these days how much spin bowlers, or how important spin bowlers are. You know what I mean? We remember we watched the show The Test, and even JL and the other bowlers said the most important bowler on this team is Nathan Lyon. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't got the heat. He's not coming up there throwing 90 miles an hour, 91 miles an hour, but he's going to work guys over, and he's going to get those wickets. And we saw it right in last week in the test we watched, right? Where the Indies, 2 tests now in a row, they have no spin bowlers. It hurts you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And maybe for the 3rd test, they'll bring in a spin bowler, because you just need to be able to break that up. And nothing against Chase, right? Chase did a decent job as a spin bowler, but he's not known as he's more of a part-timer, you know what I'm saying? He's not a legit spin bowler. But what'd you think, Nick?
Well, talk about Chase. I mean, in the day 1 of the 2nd test, he got 2 of the 3 wickets, so he was able to bring that change of pace. One thing I like is we're learning about cricket. I'm not able to retain all the information that I learned. It's impossible. But one of the things that I learned about last week watching your live streams when I was out of town was that I learned that the guys who just run a few steps are more than likely your spin bowlers, because they don't have to rely on pace. They don't have to rely on speed to do what they got to do. So right when he starts, walking a few steps, I'm like, okay, yeah, he definitely is a spin bowler. So I like that aspect of cricket where you can notice those type of bowlers based on just that small thing. Shane Warne, again, I don't know what video it was, but I remember seeing, because the blonde hair, the locks and whatnot, he's a good looking guy, Australia. I know we've seen him in bowling videos before, but this guy exudes confidence. This guy knows what he's doing. And not that athletes don't, but there are some athletes that are just way more confident than other athletes. And it's not a cocky type of confidence. It's just, they're just that good. And as a bowler, you're going to give up your runs. You're going to do this or that. He gave up that boundary. But at the end of the day, I just got to get you out one time. I just got to throw one ball. I got to bowl one ball to you, and then you're done. And he seems like that kind of guy who has that kind of confidence. Yes, it'd be great for any test cricket team right now to have a Shane Warne on their team. But what I want to know, what we want to know, is because this guy is retired, even though he's still commentating on games, we want to know who's the Shane Warne, who is the top spinner in the day right now in test cricket, in ODIs, and even in T20s, for crying out loud. Let us know who those guys are, and even who those girls are. I know there's women's cricket teams. We want to know who are those players that are the elite spinners right now, because I think me and Gabe are on the same page where we really like ourselves a spinner. Those guys are really fun to watch. I think I still like Malinga probably the most, because we had that reaction to him, and he's got those Yorkers, which, by the way, he's on Mumbai Indians, just so you know. That team is stacked, for crying out loud. But I liked watching just a small tidbit of Shane Warne, get a little bit of information on him. They call him the Flipper, it sounds like. I like that name. It looks like the delivery he's got going on right there. And the other thing about cricket is these guys are these star bowlers like Shane Warne, and then what's he doing when his over's done? He goes out in the field and he does his job out there. That's super cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. In the very first test match, right? that we saw, the one that that I did, mostly alone when you were on vacation, I was having agita every single time Don Best was bowling, because these guys tempt you. And that's why he says, he sets him up in this Shane Warne video. Okay, you hit a boundary off me. Have fun with it. I'm getting you overconfident, and then I'm going to come and take your wicket. And Don Best, he got guys out, but they got themselves out. It's almost like too tempting, with those spinners, because it comes slow and you want to take those big hacks, and then you end up getting yourself out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, it's nerve wracking with those spinners, because they can go out there and they can give up runs, but they can strike at any moment. At any moment, I think it's easier to get into a rhythm with a pace bowler as opposed to a spinner. A spinner's just going to lull you to sleep, kind of like Nathan Lyon, and he's going to work you up, and he's going to bleed his run here, his 2 runs there. Oh, you got a boundary? Oh, okay. Boom! I just got that wicket, and guess what? You're out on 17, cousin. Have a good day. Go get a tee. You know what I mean? Like that's what they do. That's what they do.
I knew the cousin was coming. We hope you enjoy this Cricket Tuesday. Again, like I said, it may not be a typical kind of video that we're doing, but we're trying to learn about, the greats of the game now, the greats of the game in the past. Let us know what are some other videos out there. You've done a great job of doing that, but, we get so many requests. Just keep bringing them in, and eventually it'll stick. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate, most of you guys and girls are from Cricket for Americans too, so thank you for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to check out some other videos. We have, I don't know, probably 30 or 40 of these cricket videos on Boring Reviews. Sit down if you enjoy cricket and check out what we got. But with all that being said, until next time.
That's 6 runs.